Welcome to GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. Today, welcome to the original college gymnastics post-meet show, where, for the 117th time, no, it's just 8. It's just 8 times. Oklahoma are your 8-time national champions as of today. So today's show is brought to you by Kaylin Chio sticking her vault, her 1.5, for the 13th time and getting yet another
an NCAA
10.
Championships 10. A six judge 10, which is, we call that a trinity.
Yes.
That's when you get a Trinity Thomas, is when you get a 10 from 6 judges.
Okay, let's start with the most important question, which is, did the right team win?
Ooh, it's a tough one. It's a big question. I don't have a strong opinion yet. As Scott Bregman keeps reminding us this weekend, you actually don't know unless you go back and judge every single routine in slow motion and then decide. So yeah, I think I'm okay with it. It's LSU had a great meet and had the more satisfying hit. Like, LSU hit better across 4 events. Oklahoma, very shaky start on beam, had to count the Feta dismount, which was wild.
And remember, Feta has the hand sprain from a conditioning exercise, so she just didn't get the push. That's what we think, or else her legs gave out on her back handspring into her dismount. And so she landed so low, almost put her hand down on that, which was shocking.
Yes. There were some screams from the media area, which is not technically allowed, but we'll permit it in the moment.
The other thing, so Oklahoma, the thing is, at the very end, I was like, oh my God, if it comes down to a tie, they're going to have to count Kira Wells' fall on her beautiful, amazing switch aerial.
And then she got a 9-0. We were doing it. We were like, she got a 9-0, but Lexi Zeiss's fall was a 9-2. Is this going to be a tie? It didn't end up being a tie. It was close. And then it's so heartbreaking for LSU, because you're like, oh, if Kaylin Chio had stuck her beam dismount like she does almost every meet, she probably would have got a 10.
Yeah.
And LSU would have won.
Yeah.
So it came down to such small margins. I'll go back and watch everything after our at the end of our vacation.
Our well-earned vacation.
So that I can report my full and final opinion when we're done. I'll rejudge every routine for the 2 teams. But there was then, because you're going back to like, okay, LSU bars scoring. You got bars scoring. LSU's bars, some crazy high overscores. Oklahoma's floor, I thought very high, a lot of 9.9s where I was like, that's a 9.85. That's a solid 9.85. That's a solid 9.85. And then we saw judges going up 9.95. That's how I was feeling about their floor. I thought we had some absolutely crazy scores where it was just like, so we didn't watch the routine, right? Like, we just scored our prior expectations, like Skye Blakely's floor, for instance, where she tripped through her leap combination.
It was really weird. It was like
Skye Blakely didn't hit a leap, and so something's wrong, because she always hits it. Those are easy leaps for her. She was tripping through it. She missed it. They scored it like she hit it normally. And I felt the same way about like Courtney Blackson's bars. They scored it like she hit her dismount perfectly.
Yep.
And so it was that you have to, when you're trying to decide, oh, what was the team that deserved to win? You have to be like, wait, who was overscored more crazily than the other teams that were overscored, and what's happening?
It was wild that Oklahoma's lowest score was on beam, and then LSU's lowest scores were vault and beam, because they had the similar problems like you're talking about on beam. And Amari Drayton, that save that Amari had on beam was nuts. Like, since we're sitting in my favorite spot,
we see so many weird things that you don't see otherwise. The head on beam,
which is why it's the best.
Even though they should not use it for live beam routines on a broadcast, because it's not the judge's angle, you can't see any leaps, and we couldn't see we just had to basically assume people hit the leaps like they usually do, that we've seen 13 times this season, because we can't see whether you're hitting splits. But yeah, there was some weird, like, way off and then no wobble.
Yeah.
Chio's mount.
It was amazing.
Chio's mount on beam. She was like, and then was like, oh, I put my hands down so I can pull it back.
Yep. I did think that halfway through, so I listened to some of the broadcast in one ear, because I want to know what Mary Jo of the analyst judges has to say. And I thought the judges had come and taken her away, because they kept asking for her, and then we got no opinion from her. But can you hear us now?
Okay, I'm talking now. I can hear me, and that's very important.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's the most important thing.
You guys, this is why
we got unplugged.
Yeah, they literally unplugged the power from the wall when the media
That's why we were like, okay, we have to talk quickly. We have to talk 10 times quicker than usual because we will get kicked out if you're apparently in 13 seconds.
Okay, I want to talk about the most controversial thing that happened. And you guys, I don't think you saw this on the broadcast. The rules say specifically for postseason that athletes who are not competing and not on a team competing in the finals are not allowed on the floor. Tonight, an athlete who was not competing today, whose team didn't make it, was on the floor and then went into the corral of another team. And this team has someone who had to change teams. And I've never seen that before because you're not allowed on the floor if you don't have a credential, and you're definitely not allowed in the corral. Even if well-intentioned, the rules are in place for a reason. And, you don't want someone from another team, the potential for this, if it happened like during the meet, someone from another team to interfere with another team's equipment or their mental status or say something. So I have asked the NCAA for comment, and I asked specifically for the meet referee. So we'll see if I can get comment on that. But yeah, it was kind of shocking. I've never seen that before. And especially in a situation like this, even if well-intentioned, it seemed like I just want to reassure this team they didn't make it. And I know how it is, but not allowed. And the NCAA is really cracking down on the rules. Normally, we're allowed on the floor after the meet is over. They're not allowing any media, but they allowed this to happen. So, okay, back to the competition itself.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The things that I saw.
Yes.
I saw none of this happen.
You said none of this, and I was like, binoculars.
This is brand new information
on the situation.
And
I don't want to name the athlete because I think this was a well-intentioned, but it is another problem that, like, I've always said, security is a fucking joke at this meet, and it continues to be, and this is not okay. So that's why I'm bringing it up. But it's not really about who did it. It's about the NCAA not following their own fucking rules. And I have a lot of feelings about that, and they won't answer to anyone. So, okay, we talked about. I want to go back to LSU's beam, and I want to talk about Konnor McClain, who for me is the MVP of this meet.
Okay,
both days. She was top 2 on 2 events today. Her shoulder basically isn't attached.
Her shoulder came back on.
And she still did it.
And it was perfect. And she did perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. And she also, like in prelims, had to wait 1,000 years to go on beam, hit a perfect beam routine, and then came through today and did an amazing job on 3 events too. Like she has become like the team hero. They can depend on her and Chio. Always doing it, always getting it done with beautiful, amazing form. And Chio was like back to herself today. She was like, "You need me to get 10s on everything? I'll do it in prelims and in finals."
And then she's like, "I'll not stick beam for the one time ever." Yeah, I really did feel like it came down to who stuck more dismounts on beam after the fall in the second position. Because both LSU and Oklahoma had falls in the second spot. And then Oklahoma, I think, stuck all of their dismounts after that. And LSU stuck one. And I was like, oh, that was the difference in the meet. That was it. We should talk about Florida.
Yes.
Who did not have a good competition.
No.
Just like from the start, not sticking, not like even starting on beam. They were okay, but wobbly. And then they had moved Alyssa Arana to the last spot. She was going up second. She kind of wobbled around, didn't have a great one. In the semifinals, they moved her to the last position. She fell, so that didn't work. Felt like they were just wobbly there, kind of dug themselves a hole, and then were not sticking enough after that to make up for it. And then vault, lots of large lunges, lots of errors. So yeah, I think they underperformed their potential in the final. Again.
Yeah, which is
and it's something they need to like seriously look at. Because as I said, like there is no reason this team with this talent should be satisfied with third. I don't think they're definitely not satisfied with third.
Yep.
They will not be happy with this. They should not be happy with this because they can do a lot better.
They were.
They definitely weren't.
Very upset. Yeah, which is their competitors. Of course they were.
Right. And they didn't do what they can do. Most of the gymnasts on Florida's team did not do their normal. Like it was this was not the normal routine we see every week during the regular season. Like the majority of the routines, I thought, across the team. It was not a one-person thing. It was like every single person was not quite on. And this is not the first time that's happened.
Yep.
with a super talented roster that probably should win, full of elites. So they need to look at, like, what are we doing?
Yep.
Why are we not able to, lock in and stick Yurchenko 1.5s when it comes to nationals?
Yep. It was interesting on the broadcast that, there was a lot of speculation about what was going on bars. And then we heard on the broadcast, Allie say that she talked to some of the athletes and they said that the bar, the top bar, the high bar fell off, like the swing, the pull of it was off, which was interesting because there definitely was. When it's every single team both days, then it's like, okay, maybe there's something with the equipment. But also maybe it was, it is just podium bars can be funky. That is another thing. But it was just an interesting, the equipment does make a difference and the equipment can really throw people off. But this is a pattern from Florida.
Right. It's not a one. It's not a one.
Right. And this happened to all the teams with even Oklahoma on bars. But yeah, I am wondering if they're going to be, everyone here has asked both of us immediately, who's getting the Nebraska and who's getting the Auburn job and what's going to move around. And there's been a lot of speculation that Owen Field, king of ass lighting, will be chosen for one of those jobs. And I do wonder if they will make changes. I think Florida, they know they can win. They have won in the past with other coaches, but obviously you guys didn't pay enough for the Etsy witch.
No, no one got one. No one found one.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work.
You guys, I'm not kidding about this. But I do wonder if Florida, they won in the past. They've been in this position. They're doing so well. They're finishing top 4 year after year after year.
Yeah. But how do you say to a coach, like, it's not good enough to finish third, which is amazing, but it's also like, you can do more.
Right. And we know you can do more. And you have such a great team. And with MJ and with Selena and,
Skye.
Skye, Blakely, you could make an Olympic team of this team, which is, not, and then Riley, winning bars, our bars champion, which if you listen to behind the scenes after semifinal, I could have contained myself.
Screamed a little bit.
Oh, it's just like the most beautiful thing of her career. But the other thing is that, today she had one of those, my ankle told me no. And so I had to absorb things with my entire legs and had to run of those really low landings. Yeah. So that was really a bummer too. So
and it typified Florida's whole day.
Yeah.
We should talk about Minnesota. Fourth place. Did great.
They did amazing.
Another good performance. Very Minnesota. They did exactly what they had been doing. Regional finals, semifinals, solid meet, good performance, doing what they're able to do. And then it just like they ran into teams that were going to be able to. I don't think anyone had a really like a amazing championship winning, oh my God, it was great performance today, but ran into teams that had, such high scoring potential that they weren't going to be able to catch up to it. But, once again, like the team that wins like happiest team on the awards podium is never seems like it's the winner. Like last year it was Missouri, absolutely won happiest team. Minnesota was like, you guys,
Minnesota was like,
we nailed it. This was an amazing championship. And it was. And they did great again today. Hitting. Other teams didn't hit all of their routines. Right. If we were counting every routine.
This is the other thing. Also, shout out to a bar of their own in Minnesota for hosting NCAA watching bar days. This is one of the women's sports bar for gymnastics both days. And San Francisco also had a bar doing this. They don't have to be a women's sports bar because it's a gay bar. So obviously that's what they were showing ahead of the curve, the gay bars. Do you want to talk about... Okay,
probably.
Yes. Okay.
The answer is probably.
I want to go back to some details about Minnesota for a second. So, I thought that they did... they made history, literally. Like, I saw Taryn Crump walk after, and they were, crying. I feel like it's like the end of
it's the end of the season, and for the seniors, it's like, this is it. There's all of that, but also, like, Minnesota finished fourth.
Right. They made history just by competing here today. And I just reminded her, she was walking by, I was like, you did amazing. You made history. Don't forget you made history. And she was like, yeah. But this is like competitors want to win. Like, this is why they're so good, But I think Slevin had some like uncharacteristic things today a little bit.
She bounced back on vault. I thought her bars was very clean. She moved a little on the dismount. But
just the dismount, which a lot of people had that like, I'm
so
sticking,
many people
body weight.
Had like, I thought I stuck on bars and now I'm going to lean forward into like the pit of lava in front of me and like hipped past horizontal, and suddenly they got a low score, or should have, on bars after landing like, you know, what
Sorry about
seemed
that.
like normally.
I was telling fact checker to add
Once
questions.
Again, liveness. The liveness of liveness.
This is what happens when you're live. And fact checker just got here because he was in it took a very long time, which is totally understandable, for Oklahoma to come into the press conference.
They were like, questions, we want to like, wee!
Right, exactly, which is totally fine. So we have the great Spanny Tampson has arrived.
Spanny says, my sister texted me to tell me gymnastics was on and Minnesota was competing. Think about that.
Yes.
Important.
It's a banner day.
It's a banner day for Minnesota.
Yes, it's huge. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. Minnesota just got a brand new gym, the difference that has made, and also the coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. Like, they had 2 coaches that are now coaching at Cal. Cal didn't make it this year at all, and they made it to 4. So is that a huge difference? Is the difference, the mentality, the new facility?
Yeah.
Like, because, man, that gym, I mean, the men were in a closet, and the women's gymnastics team were in a
guest bedroom.
Yeah, maybe like
the men had a walk-in closet. The women had the attic that you converted into grandma's apartment kind of thing. You can't
stand up all the way.
Yeah.
You have to climb up on a ladder that descends. That's basically what it is. And the new gym is amazing. Like Pitt's new gym too. Question.
A gymnastics fan says, my mom watched from her rehab facility room. She broke her hip and leg last week. It's a big priority.
I hope she feels better, and I'm so glad that she could watch gymnastics. One behind the scenes I want to tell you guys about is that apparently this is a brand new arena that costs $1 zillion, and it's a beautiful arena, and it's great for watching gymnastics. They, I think, bought vacuum cleaners from the 1800s.
Okay.
And yes, the vacuum cleaners, they would vacuum between, every session like they do.
Because you have to vacuum up the chalk, because chalk is ugly, apparently. So no one can ever have
who would
to
want to
see
look
it.
at chalk
No one
at
can
a
see it.
gymnastics
No one's allowed.
meet.
Yeah.
The vacuum cleaners just spew the chalk back out of their butts.
They work really well. Yeah.
It was everywhere we went, people would suddenly go and run away because chalk was just flying into our faces.
There was one point in podium training where one of the employees of the arena was like trying to fix the vacuum and had it on the ground, and I fully thought it was a gymnast getting medical treatment. I was like, who's injured? Who had, that's a vacuum. Don't worry about it. Nope, not a person. That's a vacuum.
Oh my God. One of my favorite moments from this meet today was Baloo, because I love her floor for LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't do great. She said that she was like super, like she felt like her legs were lead, which happens when you have the, energy dump.
Freshman nationals after regionals, the 2 meet weekends
right.
For the first time. Yeah.
When your adrenaline just dumps and then you have nothing when you go for a double layout. She did much better, still low today, but she really improved. So shout out to her. Kalia Lincoln, gigantic, huge monster vault again.
Yeah. Didn't quite stick. And then we had the Amari Matt Scoot incident again.
Twice in a row. So let me ask you this. I talked to Amari Drayton about this, and I said, Amari, do we need to invent something like, does the NCAA have a rule that actually makes the mat not move? And she was like, I know. And she was like, I almost fell today. And I was
did. She stepped forward on her vault and then almost fell.
Literally because the mat slid. And I was like, there need to be a rule where we can get 2 very large gentlemen to just sit on the edges of the mats. She was like, yes, maybe we do. But she had she was sort of like not as upset about it as I was.
That's typical for us. The gymnasts are like, it wasn't a big deal. And we're like, yes, it was.
And I'm like,
it was a huge
murder
deal.
Yeah. So this is my question, you guys. If you were, there's a poll tool now, but let us know in the comments. Okay, if you're a head coach and there's an assistant coach whose job is to hold the mat so it doesn't move, right? Because we see this everywhere. They even have the paid student assistants who literally sit on the edges of the mat, right? Because this happens on every event. And one time in a meet, they don't hold, this assistant coach doesn't hold the mat slides, the gymnast steps backwards, which then you have double deductions for stepping backwards. Unless the judges are like, oh no, that was the coach's fault, not the gymnast's fault, the mat move. But then it happens again. The same season, the same gymnast, a second time, because this assistant coach didn't hold the mat in the team finals. What would you do? Press conference about it?
We didn't get press conference?
No. Would you fire the coach? Would you take them off the event? Would you make it so they're never holding the mat again because they're a great coach, but like they don't do this? What would you guys do? Give us a scenario because we're going to need a solution to this because Amari Drayton deserves better.
I know all I saw was Jay making the motion to Garrett of like, slippy, slippy.
Yeah, again, that's not good. It's not good. Yeah. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? Oh, Ashley Cohen for LSU, great on bars, sticking her dismount, remembering to salute, even though there's no rule that you have to
hold your finish position.
Hold your finish, but you don't have to salute. That's not actually a rule. Even though your kinder gym teacher told you that.
I mean, salute the judges. Like, you don't have to turn to salute the judges.
You have to show a finish
you do an
position,
elite.
but you don't have to, you don't have to actually turn to salute the judges. But then she sheathed her sword.
Yeah, which is a progression from her shooting the arrow earlier. So she got I feel like in between regionals and nationals, she got promoted from like archer to knight. Like she got her knighthood, I guess.
Yeah.
With the armor, because now she's allowed a sword and not just like one of the archers. And I think that's important.
As she should. She's been a stalwart. She's doing amazing. I totally love it. Event winners today, in case you're wondering, because that is my favorite part. Oh, we have a poll. Oh, okay. The poll is up.
Fact checkers the poll.
Yes, good job. Okay. So event winners today, while we wait for you guys to fill out the poll and put in your vote. Lily Peterson, Oklahoma.
Whoa, all around?
Won the all around.
Lily Peterson, look at you.
Yeah. And
stuck her vault, anchoring the vault rotation.
Yeah. She is one you can always depend on, does amazing. I love this for her. Like, I feel like I want to give her like a lot of, I would throw confetti at her if I could, but they don't let you do that in the press conference. They're supposed to be like, I don't know, professional, but we can do it here for her. Vault Chio won a 10, obviously, hello.
Yeah, there was some controversy about this 10. I thought it was bigger than her 10.
I agree.
Or her vault that almost got a 10 from the semifinals. But other people from other angles said she was kind of movement to control, swing, like she kind of leaned and swung arms, and she had a like control movement after sticking.
We are sitting across the arena from vault, so it could be. I mean, that is like if you move after you stick.
Torso movements to retain balance.
Right. You have to show control. So all of that, there was so much of this body wave trying to, and your feet are up. Tootsies off the floor is a deduction. That's not control if you have to lift your tootsies up.
If you have a tootsie roll.
If it's on heel, no tootsies. Yeah. The poll is progressing.
And it's moving. It was in front of my mouth, and now it's moved in front of Jessica's mouth, which is the most important thing. Now
I will cover
the star.
Now
the star has to be able to be seen. So shove Jessica out of the way.
This is what happens when we're in the same place. Shenanigans.
Yeah, for a whole weekend we go cuckoo.
The bars winner with 995s across the board. I told you that Konnor McClain won 2 events today. Konnor, Skye, and Selena, your bars champions today, all with 995s. Lily Peterson, Faith Torres, and Konnor McClain were your beam winners with 995s. And then on floor, Faith Torres, who only started doing whole floor routines on the actual floor, 20 seconds ago, basically. Because as KJ told us in the press conference, Faith defrosted herself and was like, I would like to do floor. And then KJ, because she's so good at managing injuries, told her, no, you can do tumble track, you can do ski floor, and then maybe we'll let you touch the floor 2 weeks before the actual competition. You have to do full routines. I want to get to some of your questions here, Happy Camper.
Some coaches I have seen at JO spray water under the mat to keep it from slipping.
And FIG mats have air holes in the side. You see those little things that look like speakers on that lets the air out so they don't slide.
They're not speakers?
I know. They should be though. How fun would that be? You can hear the inside of the mat being like, I did it. Okay. Oh, what is a ski floor? We have a question. So a ski floor is, imagine a tumbling strip, but literally it has rods. That's also called a rod floor, but it was originally made with skis. It's rods of fiberglass that bend, and it feels great. Like a tumble track is, I would say the progression is the lowest impact is tumble track, is a really long trampoline. Next is the ski floor. It's a little bouncier than an actual floor, and then you go on the actual floor. The air floor is in between that, but To me, an air floor feels nothing like any of the rest and is I don't really like it. It feels unsteady to me, but so that's what that is. And it's really helpful for learning skills, for progressions, for managing injuries. You just manage the impact with these basically. Last night we had our live show.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to everybody that came in person.
Very fun.
We have a giant group dance video because the whole CHAE...
Oh, I did not participate. Don't worry.
Spencer stayed in character.
I don't participate.
The CHAE taught the CHAE to the entire audience, and except the people that immediately ran out the back door because it was the end of the show and they were like, oh my God, what if they asked me to dance?
Yeah,
which we never make people do that.
Understandable.
It's just if you want to.
Yeah.
So many people got up and all did it together. The whole theater was all doing the CHAE. It was really fun. What was your favorite part about the live show?
My favorite part was how fun CHAE was and how just what an enjoyable person she is to be around. And I was like, I don't usually feel like comfortable around other people. And I was like, oh, you're really enjoyable to be around. You're just a gem.
She, absolutely was she's a lovely human. Like,
the other highlight was meeting Lacey Dagan's mom and talking about Lacey's talks before Beam. We had an important visualization talk. That was very good. Lacey Dagan's mom and I are like this.
Yeah, they're best friends now.
Yeah.
My favorite part...
And Maddie Dagan's mom. We talked about that.
Oh, that's right. In the bar. He knows all the Dagans now. So, Spencer, Mother's Day is coming up.
I've heard.
And I don't know if I've ever told you that my mom grew up in a back to nature, anti-capitalist conscious community in Vermont.
Yes, and when you told me that, I was like, oh, and another piece of the puzzle has fallen into place for my understanding of Jessica. Yes.
Did I tell you that my grandparents built the house she grew up in themselves by hand with the help of 2 giant draft horses?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. This is what they did when they graduated from college. They hitchhiked for their honeymoon to this place where they then did everything on their own with their own 2 hands and built a house. So these are just some of the details that I learned when my mom actually did the Storyworth project. And Storyworth, if you don't know about it, each week Storyworth sent my mom a question about her life, and she responded. And she could respond either by writing an email, or she could do a voice recording, or new this year, there's a guided phone call. So no apps, logins, no tech hassle. And she did by the emails. She just saw her email with the question. I love that we could actually pick the questions. There are some questions that they help and guide you, which I never would have thought of. There's pre-written questions, or you can write your own, which I did too, because I was like, wait, tell me about, you said something about someone that owned a newspaper. And at the end of the year, you get this beautiful hardcover book. And then through the book, I learned that we had a family member who was some kind of newspaper mogul in Kansas. It's a really nice hardcover book, and she picked photos for it. And she has thought of this as the book we will pass on to, her granddaughters, etc., so they can know the story of her life. And so basically, Storyworth puts together all of her answers to these questions that you help ask.
And more than 50,000 5-star reviewers agree it will be a treasure your family will love. New this year is Storyworth's Unlimited plan. Buy it once, and you'll be able to give Storyworth memoirs to friends and family all year. Plus, it comes with all their newest features and multiple full-color book copies. That means you can get all your Mother's Day gifts for your mom, grandma, and any mom figures in your life, plus take care of Father's Day while you're at it. So this year, give mom a gift that helps her reflect on her life with fresh perspective and gives your whole family the gift of her stories. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Order right now and save up to $20 at storyworth.com/GymCastic. Save up to $20 at storyworth.com/GymCastic. Storyworth.com/GymCastic.
Last night we had our live show. My favorite part, because this is live journalism, CHAE talked about everything that happened at her UCLA years, from the allegations that were made against the gymnast, to the coaching changes, to the interview that some gymnasts who participated in. She's explained why she didn't participate in the interview. And she said exactly how she feels about Chris Waller, full stop. She had nuances, but she said
nuances. I didn't think those were allowed.
Right, which is
I'm pretty sure that's illegal at this point.
Yeah, she talked about all the things that led to that were problematic, and then made a full stop sentence about Chris Waller, which I want people to watch and hear everything that she said. So I'm not going to quote her here, but
yeah, it's good to read a full explanation because
right.
It can't you can't encapsulate how everything. She feels about the situation into like one sentence.
Yeah,
because it's like real life.
Yeah, but it is not the same as other people. How some other people have felt about him. Kimberly says,
I'm happy CHAE felt comfortable with you all to talk about all the things.
Me too.
We are very happy too.
Yeah, we were like, it was really great. Lou says,
the best part of the live show was everything after the warm-ups.
Everything after the games or starting the games. Because she, like Morgan Hurd, participated in the games. Archie says, is
Lacey a candidate for some of the big jobs? I don't know.
Oh, maybe she is.
I don't know if she has enough experience yet. Like, has she been there long enough? We were talking about how we think they're going to really lean heavy on experience.
They're great on beam.
Yeah, I know. It's not a, like, how good they are. It's like, have you had enough time to learn the ropes and how everything works and how to handle
like a head coach job.
Lots of conflicts as a head coach.
I think she has definitely made a name for herself coaching beam. But yes, it's very different.
And giving beam talks, at least.
Kathleen says,
it does make you think about everything Janelle has taken on already in her first head coach job. They still probably should not have chosen to end on vault, but that is another story. Yeah, that was a big talking point as well. That UCLA still had a choice of what event to end on, and they picked the one where you're not going to get the scores.
Yeah.
Which I think also helped Oklahoma today, ending on floor.
Yeah. Emily says,
CHAE's emotional maturity truly blew me away. She is incredible.
I literally sent her a message this morning, and I was like, I'm not joking. Have you considered going into politics? Because we need women like you with integrity who can speak in a way that is unimpeachable. I just felt like no one could attack anything she said. It was so pure, I guess is the way I would say it. We were talking about this after, there was nothing accusatory. There was nothing saying people were wrong or right. She explained her experience and why she made the choices she did and laid out the evidence. And I was like, can you please go into politics, run for president, do something, use your platform, like save democracy, CHAE. That's all we want.
It's just
not a big deal.
Small ask. Katie says, should Oklahoma have put Theta up on beam today? Her score was dropped in the semifinals, and I realize that hindsight is 2020, but they would have wanted to drop her score today until Wells fell. Yeah.
I mean, she did it in semifinals. She was able to do that dismount. So I think based on
it was like
evidence,
almost her perfect until the dismount. But yeah, if she was struggling with that, then probably not. But I think they felt comfortable enough with her ability to dismount based on training ones that we saw. So I don't know.
This is just another case for why everyone should learn ambidextrous skills on everything. It's just like when you're a gymnast and you're learning, you learn all your cartwheels on the right, cartwheel on the left, and then at certain points you stop. And I just feel like obviously you should, number one, learn a one-handed back handspring. Be like Trinity Thomas. That's always the lesson, but then on both hands.
Okay, yeah.
Just in case one isn't working. But yeah, I think like if, she was able to do it in prelims, and I would trust her to do it again today. And like sometimes you don't know, you made it worse in prelims maybe, or it's hurting, or you just, you thought you're going to be able to push off, but you have a sprain. So your ligament was like, just kidding.
Yeah, and because they won, I think they won't be like looking back and reanalyzing it because she did enough.
Yep.
Another question: if Kelsey Slade hadn't been injured, would she have replaced Theta? That's another possibility that they're like if they felt their best alternate is definitely out, and they didn't have that, then Theta may have been the one they trusted the most to hit because of hitting experience, even if she obviously wasn't feeling 100%. She did enough.
Amy says,
what do you think of the beam discussion was about while Lexi Zeiss was waiting?
Probably about like what they're going to do, what they're going to eat after this, what they did the day before, TV shows, their favorite books, dance moves.
Yeah, I don't know, because I didn't think, as the judges showed their scores, I could not initially for Kylie Cohen's routine. I couldn't see all of the scores, but I didn't see like a range issue or a start value issue, so I didn't know what they were talking about.
I wonder if they were talking about Samuel L. Jackson because he was sitting right behind them.
Good.
And we don't know why he's here, but he is shooting a TV show down the road.
And Megan has the same question. The Beam Conference stopped LSU's momentum. Some of us in the chat ready to riot. Okay, it's me.
Okay,
I'm sure it's not you.
I have something very specific to say about this.
Okay.
If you cannot handle, I don't mean you personally. If you're a gymnast at this level, you personally at home right now, if you cannot handle a pause, a delay, you have not been trained properly. Nothing should be able to get in the way of your mental space to do your best gymnastics, period. And this is the reason that I mentioned specifically Konnor McClain as an MVP, because in prelims, Konnor had a way longer wait, left the podium, came back, and hit perfectly.
Yeah,
because
they had to talk about Kalia's score for a long time.
A very long time. And this is the thing, when they say like, oh, you can't teach that. Yeah, yes, you can teach that. That's literally what these coaches are really, really good at. It's literally what you do. How to hit under pressure when you're distracted. They practice this all over. They're not like golfers, those huge pusillanimouses who someone sneezes and they have to like throw a fit, lie on the floor, and kick their feet around like a toddler.
Mm-hmm. And I feel so much for Lexi Zeiss because she has had a really good season and has added more events and was really strong on bars, had a great bars leadoff routine. And then, of course, as we talked about, like, you're going to internalize that as being like, we were so close to winning and I fell on beam, even though that score was dropped. But a really strong competition overall. And you look at that as, I don't know, it's like similar to we were talking about with Clemson. I think Clemson in the regional final, I think there are a lot of parallels to LSU today in that they had the more comprehensive hit, but didn't have the scoring potential. And it's kind of like you internalize that last person or that person in the last event who doesn't, who falls, who doesn't stick their dismount. But it's like, you add together all the scores on all the events,
but also
it all goes together.
I mean, there's so many, I know, like, this is why these athletes are so good, right? Because they want to be good. They do internalize it. They do feel like shit when things like this happen.
Right. There's no way to not.
And
that's also
is
motivating.
What makes them good. Like, if you don't care, it's not going to motivate you to improve. So the thing is that this is also why this is a team sport. College gymnastics is actually a team sport because this happened to Lexi, but it's not her fault. Everyone's routines mattered. Everyone's routines got LSU to second place, which is also amazing.
Once again a really strong result. Exactly. I mean, we talked about, like, in our preview, like, third would have been a very solid result for LSU. They were second with a solid argument that they should have won. I mean, it's very close, but they absolutely have, like, obviously, like, all the LSU people will be heading to the bar right now and talking about how they got screwed by the judges. Every team always does that after championships, but they have, like, you've got a solid one. Like, it's sometimes they're grasping at straws and you have to kind of listen and be like, okay, yeah, you should have won. Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from for that. LSU has, like, real arguments. Yeah. That they should have won. So it's a really good performance, a really good result, especially coming back from a semifinal performance that was not that good. And they kind of got through because other people also had mistakes. Huge improvement from semifinal to final. Really good second place, even though they were here to win.
Yep. And I think, as much as, like, I may not water.
Okay. That was lovely. I'm just so glad everyone got to hear that sound.
Sorry, guys. I got Kathleen? A piece of chalk in my throat right there. This is what I was about to tell you, Kathleen.
Okay. What did Jay say after the meet is the question.
Yeah. So he did an interview afterwards and he made a point of saying this team has nothing to be upset about. They did amazing. They did their jobs. They did a great job. And he talked about how Kalia Lincoln had an injury to her calf. They almost took her out a couple days ago, which you could see, like, today it was even more taped up than it was before. That Chio, like, she had, she was so in her head during podium training and she got over and did the job and spectacularly. Like, what a hero. Konnor, He specifically talked about Konnor and all,
Mhm.
what she has gone through in her life and in gymnastics to get to this point where she is the hero that can be relied on by her teammates. That's a huge deal. And so as much as you guys may have picked up in the past that maybe I don't agree with Jay's politics,
They subtly picked it up
with, and in the past, and maybe he has changed and evolves too. I do, when he talks about his team and when you see him interact with his team, you can see why so many gymnasts have a good experience there, why so many gymnasts choose to go to LSU, because he pays attention to the athletes. He notices things before they say it. You will see him watch someone, they're not saying anything, nothing's happening. He goes over to them, he checks on them, like, how is this feeling? Are you okay? Do you want me to get the trainer? Like, those little things are what make great coaches. And so you can see why they get the recruits, like Courtney Blackson. She came back to do bars, and what a spectacular job she's done, right? And we get to see the Horkina, and she also was one that was like, this is the end. She really doesn't have any eligibility left. Really,
no
that's
eligibility
it.
Now.
And landing that dismount and just bursting into tears immediately, because what an incredible career. And also, I feel like she never got her due when she was at,
because no one could ever see Boise State meets.
Yes. And so now she got to be in the SEC where they're always on TV. And so we got to see her beautiful gymnastics, and she got to really contribute to this great team. And now she is runner-up NCAA champion, like a second place world. What was that?
Fourth place world champion. Fourth place world champion, Minnesota. Allison says, not math people, not me or Jessica. What would the results be if the format was 6 up, 6 count?
Ooh.
I don't have the scores up, so
Hold
I
on.
can't do that either for the moment.
I can do that for a minute.
No, don't.
Hold on. Yes.
The people in the chat will beat you.
Wait, talk while I do this.
No.
If
Jessica's cheating, you guys. Jessica's cheating at podcast. She's getting help. She's getting...
I get math help, you guys.
She's getting mind doping, which is what she's doing right now. Artificial.
You know that I
artificial
can't
mind doping.
You guys, we did talk a lot today about, while we wait for that, Cynthia has a question. Should all 6 scores count?
I think 5 scores, it should be 5 up, 5 count.
Yeah, I like that, because then you can play with the lineup.
Which they'll never do, because you're, getting rid of...
But should we do that all season? Okay. Oh, if all 6 scores count, which would be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If all the teams tied,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the tiebreaker. LSU. Wait. Why would they have a 237?
Because you're adding.
That's wrong.
You're adding a 6th score.
Oh, that's right. See, you guys. This is why I have a cheat code for this. Thank you.
Your score is going to be higher because you have 6 scores counting on each event instead of 5 scores counting on each event.
In my mind, it was like a 400. And I was like, no, it's not. Don't take prelims. Okay. LSU would have 1 if all 6 scores counted. Oklahoma would be in second by 3, 4, 5, 7/10-ish. Then Florida, then Minnesota. So it wouldn't have changed for Florida and Minnesota, but LSU would have won, which means the more consistent team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. They had the more satisfied, the more solid meet overall, I thought. I just don't think their scoring potential is as high when they hit perfectly as Oklahoma's is.
Do we have the results of our poll? And then we can ask for our poll. No. Oh, I've been given a head shake.
No.
By fact checker.
No.
Shut down. I was shut down, you guys. I would love to see the format change all season for 5 up, 5 count.
Personally, I wouldn't. I would prefer 5 up, 5 count instead of 6 up, 6 count, because then all of the scores would be different, like for records purposes.
Right. Then it would be like 200. I'd be like, wait, I don't
read.
understand what a 200 something is.
Several people in the chat complain about, this is from our happy camper. Several people in the chat complain about Oklahoma's difficulty, particularly. I've lost my audio.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. We can hear me now. Complain about Oklahoma's difficulty, particularly on floor. Is this an accurate impression? I mean, they're starting from a 10.
It doesn't matter.
Not incorrect.
It doesn't matter. They are doing this on purpose. They are not
it's
taking
definitely
the
an
risk.
intentional choice. Yeah, but besides it being an intentional choice that KJ has talked about, yes, I don't have them doing the difficulty they could do to save their bodies, and we still know how to start from a 10, so we're going to do that. But should it?
Right.
is it a satisfying conclusion to see those routines scoring, 995?
There has been a lot of chatter amongst the coaches this year about making it harder to get a 10.
To get to a 10-0 start.
10-0 start value,
Not
yeah.
like
So instead of starting
yeah.
from a 9.6, you start from a 9.4 or a 9.2.
Well, you already start from
or start
a
from a
9.4.
9.4. Sorry.
For
it
college.
Used to be, yeah. So start from a 9. And the thing is, people are like, oh, no, it's going to be too hard for some people, and then they're going to get hurt because they're going to try something harder. And I'm like, if you're trying something hard that you can't do and you get hurt, either your coach is an asshole or you don't have people around you protecting you. This all goes back.
There should always, whatever change you make, there should always be many different types of solutions that work for different types of gymnasts. So you can solve the problem by adding an e-pass if that works for you. You can solve the problem by actually having a leap combination that is not like a switch side popa or a switch side half straddle jump that's not fully rotated.
Right. It should be something really hard.
And then we have to judge it.
It should be something really hard. Okay, so round off double pike Horkina. Shishinova.
What is that? What's a double pike Horkina?
The full twisting or 1.5 Shishinova, 1 foot,
yes.
Gainer 1.5 Shishinova.
Gainer 1.5 twists kind of in a horizontal plane to front support, which is the Horkina. How are you doing a double pike into that?
Okay, so let me describe it. So the one who does this right now? Someone on Utah does it. It's like you jump up, pike yourself into an actual whack pancake, and then half turn Shishinova.
Sure. Combine
those. 1.5, slap yourself into a pike.
Where does the double pike come in?
Well, no, it's just it's two. It's not a double pike. It's a 2 twisty with a pike Shishinova.
Anyway, Katie says, I didn't see it on the broadcast. How did Florida react to third place? Thank you for doing this. It's so fun to be here live. I would say Florida's reaction to third place in public was very smiley, and then obviously
they were very
upset.
They were
they had could really react for real.
Yeah, I would say there wasn't any team that wasn't crying
for various everyone. It's gymnastics. Everyone's crying for 7 different reasons at once.
Yeah, and it's also totally fine. It is a very healthy way to get your emotions out. Would we rather see them lighting things on fire and punching things?
Sure, would love that. But
no. Speaking of which, we expect an OSHA violation to be handed out to the University of Illinois trainer who didn't use gloves when dealing with an athlete who was bleeding all over the place. So as a trainer, you're taught to fear OSHA at all times. Wait, does OSHA still exist, or did Trump get rid of it? You let us know in the chat. Maybe no one has anything to worry about. But bloodborne illness still exists. Turns out, no matter who is in charge of the Department of Health, it still exists. Well, let's see. Illinois. Yeah. Oh, not in women's, in men's, because men's NCAA championships are happening right now too, by the way. Oh my God. And did you hear about what happened to Air Force?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Kensley. Neutral Deductions, covering this at length to give you all the updates on this. But so she told me that Air Force was driving and they drove into a tornado, not on purpose. It wasn't just this, tornadoes happen in the United States. Drove in tornado, pushed them into traffic. We're waiting to hear. It sounds like everyone is okay, but it's very scary. I think about the time that Alabama had that big hurricane or tornado. I remember the one gymnast was stuck outside, so she had to brace herself against the walls because she couldn't get in. Yeah, it's the U.S. It's not just the politics that will get you. It's the weather too. Yeah, tornadoes. I'm terrified of that. I don't know what to do if there's a tornado.
No, I don't live in that place, so I don't have the training.
Yeah.
Call me if there's an earthquake or a fire.
What else can we answer for you? What else do you want to know about before they kick us out of here in 9 minutes?
We have exactly 9 minutes to keep talking about this meet, and then we have to leave you.
And then we must take our well-deserved time off. For crying out loud. Kathleen says
OSHA still exists, but with funding cuts and reduced enforcement.
So perhaps not. Perhaps there will be a slap on the wrist and a pair of gloves given. In case you didn't catch it, let's see. I
didn't do my MVP of the meet.
Who's your MVP?
Because my beam VP is Ella. My beam VP is Ella Murphy. For going up after she went up after the fall for Oklahoma and hit I think the best routine until maybe the dismount, about the best routine. There was one thing. Very solid.
Yeah, Ella Murphy.
Freshman going up after a half miss, and then a fall. And it was like, oh, if you fall, if any of them fell, Oklahoma lost, but she had to go first in that group. So that was like the routine that clinched it for me.
And KJ did mention Ella Murphy specifically and how hard that was. Exactly what you said. It's almost like KJ, you know the things KJ is going to say before she says them.
Well, I think we're very similar.
You two are very similar, and you know all the strategies. But yeah, the same thing. She was like, she's a freshman, and she
we're
told me
almost hotel roommates.
Yeah, and she said how she was really nervous, but then once she stood up on beam, she felt better and she relaxed. So I love hearing that kind of like the respect for the athletes is what you want to hear from a head coach. Jill says, hi, Jill.
Bets on bringing Mary Jo back.
I think Mary Jo with training is a huge asset, but even without training, it's great because people think that I'm shitting on the judges, but I'm not actually shitting on the judges. I'm shitting on the rules very specifically. The NCAA rules are too wishy-washy, and there should not be an up to range. You should see something and know exactly what the deduction is. There shouldn't be an up to. So what I think is great about what she's doing is you see the problem with the rules. She's illustrating them perfectly. I love this, and I hope they have this a judge, and it's more jobs for judges and also broadcast money. That's good money, you guys. So I hope, Mary Jo, you are getting paid well because you should be, because you have a ton of experience and you're on big ABC today. So you deserve it.
What they need to do is have, I think they need to integrate her more somehow to make it, but have it in a way that it maintains the flow of the meet. Because there's oftentimes not really an opportunity if you're routine to then stop and go. I think they need a graphic of if they were really doing it, you'd have Mary Jo's score. And then you could compare it to the judge's score. That's the content. That's the good stuff.
And we want it live. We want to see it just like figure skating. So if they could put Elliot Schwartz together.
They should have a couple judges who are not judging anymore and who are here's what we judged and here's what we took. Let's compare it to the judges, which the judges will never allow because they won't allow anything that might show them up or might expose controversy.
Maybe it could be the scoreboard judges who do
but
that.
It's
they're going to do it anyway. But it should be the judges'
angle. It would be super helpful.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's a really positive thing. It really helps the audience. I love it. I think there were things where I was like, this is an automatic deduction, right? That has to be. And then she would say something and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You also have to take, which the judges are so great. They always remind me, remember, it's not just the deduction that is the obvious, it's why it happened. So you have landed short. It's an automatic for stepping back, but why did you land short? So was your angle wrong? Were your elbows bent on vault? Were your whatever? Did you tap? Was there something?
And sometimes the thing you see isn't a deduction, but it's the result of something that was a deduction. Where you're like, oh, was that a little low? And it's yeah, or she had to kind of arch that, or is second, back 1.5 to layout that you kind of had to arch the layout. Is that a deduction? Well, arching a layout isn't a deduction, but you had to arch it because you had a lack of amplitude and you didn't rise into the second element. And that's where you're seeing the deduction. So that's the kind of explanation. Yeah.
I would also like to see, Spencer asked a really important question. We've talked about this in the past, but he asked me to use my anti-racism binoculars and see and confirm, are all the judges white?
I did lean over at one point and I was like, are all the judges white?
Yeah, there is one judge of color judging here, and I believe she's a brevet. But yeah, in general, it's still there. There could be a lot more diversity in judging, and I think that is always an asset, right? And you want the judges, you want anyone in position of power to reflect the group that they are, overseeing, judging, etc. And right now we don't have that, and it would be great to see more of that. So if you guys are super nerds, you already know the code. Become a judge. Kathleen says.
Last year was the rumor about the Crandall Howells at championships. What was this year's big rumor /tea? I mean, I didn't get anything conclusive. It's mostly just chitter chatter.
Yeah, there's a lot of chitter chatter.
There's a lot of chitter chatter about Owen.
Yeah, people are thinking
that's the main chitter chatter I've heard. It's like, oh, is Owen Field going to go do this? Is he going to go do this? Who knows? I have no inside information. I'm me. I don't talk to people.
I think the other thing is Owen has
chatter.
A big position on and is very active in the women's college judges growth committee thing, WCGA. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's the coaches all getting together and like making things happen, getting a new program open to all of that. And I think like that is a job that really shows you can do the administrative work and the marketing kind of work. And so, yeah, I mean, I think he set himself up well. Will he want to do that? Will his spouse want to move? That's another thing. Like some people are like, yeah, I'll move anywhere, but not.
Is his like new hairstyle right ready to be a head coach?
Is it
That's
okay?
The real question.
That's an issue. He's so beautiful, but maybe his hair. I don't know if it's totally fitting. He knows. I tell him all of my thoughts. Erica says,
what coaches are on the chopping block this week? Oh yeah, is there going to be another Black Monday after the teams that
there will
competed
be
at
another.
Nationals?
Not these teams though, unless something happens. Unless a coach does something, breaks a rule or does something that makes them violation-wise get fired. But I don't think the coach is here.
I don't know.
I think it's crazier things that have happened, but unless Florida's like, we want to win, it's too many years of not winning.
Yeah. But you're recruiting, like you have.
They have all the best.
Do you throw away that recruiting power? I think is the question, because you're bringing in, everyone from Seattle Reign, right?
Yes.
And Dulcie.
Pacific Reign, but also Seattle Reign. Chocolate Rain.
That's a soccer. That's a Seattle Reign is a soccer. Pacific Reign is a gymnastics.
Which one of the CEO? Is that what she was? Was that the live show?
You have to tell me these things. You know these things. I don't know these things.
CEO
so you can't ask me these questions.
Reign of soccer in Seattle.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's what. Or is there WNBA?
There is. The Reign is soccer.
I only know which ones have my favorite mascot. Like the Valkyries. Shut up. Best. I don't know what the Valkyrie looks like, but it's the best name for a team ever. Is there anything else that we want you guys to know besides?
We've hit our time limit.
Oh, we did. They're gonna unplug.
They're gonna unplug us. We got to scoot.
Thank you to everyone who came to live show. It was a great success. CHAE had an amazing time. She was so happy. She was literally dancing around afterwards. And so you guys can still get your ticket to watch the replay. We did not get to questions, and almost all of the questions we looked through today were answered, but I think there's one that wasn't answered, so I'm going to send that to her and get an answer for you guys.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you so much for being Club Gym members, because we could not afford to come to meets like this if it wasn't for you all. Thank you for spending college and cocktails with us every weekend for the last 15 weeks. And we're going to go get Spencer drunk now. Happy handstands, and it's going to happen. And he's going to dance too. And we'll see you after our little vacation. Toodaloos.